This is Bare Bones with Jesse and B.
I'm Jessie.
And I'm B.
And welcome back.
Welcome, welcome.
This episode is all about letting go.
Releasing what might not serve you in this moment. Or ever.
Right. So I feel like just diving right in on this one.
Let's dive.
Let's dive
like
right
the dolphin family.
Yeah.
We love.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So when I think of like letting go, I think of like shedding old layers, thought processes, patterns from my past. And I come from a place of like a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
Even stemming back to like my childhood, my parents were very like strict about my grades and extracurricular activities, sports, things like that.
Like you had to like join sports and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's why I did track. I don't even like to run.
Really?
I used to, but like now looking
to
back, I don't really like running that much.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
But anyway, I came from that growing up, and then I was in the military for 8 years. And then I immediately kind of, went into corporate America. I didn't give myself enough time. I took off like 10 months after I left the military, but still, like, I needed like 5 years after that.
Yeah.
But coming from a place of like this stability mindset, I was totally like all of these jobs, things from, like it was a security blanket. And it's probably been like, the last year and a half or so where there was just a monumental shift in my mind. And just of like stability is kind of like not necessary. It's made up. I feel like, what is stability really when you think about it?
It's an illusion.
It's totally an illusion. And an instance that really sticks out to me is when I was in my corporate job. I remember sitting at my desk.
Yeah.
And I was on Instagram, like for lunch, having a little lunch break.
Yeah, so cute.
I'm scrolling, I'm in like the infinite scroll of Instagram that you get looped in.
Yeah, you like that.
Yeah. And then and then I'm watching, like a lot of videos about people leaving their jobs and just like selling everything they own and traveling full time. And like, I remember feeling like, oh my God, I want to do that, but I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do that. Like, I can't leave my job. I can't like not have this stability. Like, what am I gonna do if I leave my job? What's gonna happen? And yeah, that was like something that was totally a mindset I had to let go of, because now looking at present day, that's exactly what we're about to do. And it's really crazy to look back at that time and be like, how am I going to become this person? But I had to like let go of like the how. Like, the universe is always going to take care of the how.
Yes, that's a huge thing when we talk about manifesting. And if you are feeling a call to do something, AKA to manifest something, and your brain automatically goes to how, which I think we're just wired and programmed that way. That is you almost, like diluting the manifestation, almost questioning the universe. Like, the universe always has your back 100% through and through. My biggest takeaway, one of the biggest things from like learning about manifestation, is to get rid of the how. Just know, trust, and believe that it's going to happen. Be super, super clear on your vision. Go for it, and you will watch the universe conspire in your favor, especially if it's an alignment for you. And if you're feeling that intuitive call, that's an alignment for you, baby.
Right, because for years, I mean, it had been years that I had just been on my mind. I had this itch, and I was just like, I just want to travel. I want to travel. I want a partner that wants to travel. I just want to go all these places. And it's like, I'm currently like living that reality. And it's because I know it's because I let go of those old thought processes and programs that I was holding on to and rerouted those thoughts
Mm-hmm.
and truly like leaned into trusting the universe. Like the universe I have found will always provide, will always bring opportunities to you, will always give you signs, will always, reassure you, like with the signs too, that like you're on the right path, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And yeah.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's super exciting. We are in the process actually of donating, selling pretty much like 95%
About 95% of everything
of
that we
our
have.
belongings and about to travel the
Mhm.
world.
Yeah.
Wild.
I know.
Wild.
It's
Yeah,
really
lot
crazy.
of letting go, not even just like mindsets, but like hello, like we're
Right.
human. We live in a 3D reality. Like it's
Mhm.
been difficult to part with some things, you know what I mean?
Really difficult because you become attached to these things, and when you really think about it, it's a little silly when you really think about it, because it's like, this is an inanimate object, you know, why am I so attached? Like last night I had a moment where I was like chopping vegetables for dinner, and I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do with my knife set? This is my favorite knife set. I'm never gonna find another knife set like this. And it was like, wait a second, this is like kind of silly to be, you know, so like stressed about.
It was cute.
I know, but you know.
Yeah.
But it's been a process of learning how to like let go more easily and getting out of the scarcity mindset. Like the more you let go, the more you're allowing space for new opportunities to come in and flow so gracefully and easily into your life.
Yeah, I'm also thinking about the tarot cards that we pulled yesterday, and that one of the cards was really about letting go of the current comforts and attachments, because you're going to draw in something that could potentially surpass these familiar ways of being. Like you're going to feel so much more comfortable. You're going to feel so much more taken care of. And these, little things are going to, I don't know, the way, what I took from it was like your way of life in the future, like as we travel, is gonna just feel so much more safe and abundant and amazing once you fully step into that and walk through this experience.
Right. Which, I mean, there's been many experiences that we've had to walk through together and learn to let go in different ways, you know. One, you know, another experience was with a friend of yours, and I had this intuitive feeling, and I'm more intuitive than I give myself credit for sometimes.
Yeah, you psychic as fuck.
I see things like long before they happen. Like I just know, you know, I have a very good, obviously this has taken years of time, but like a lot of my discernment is spot on.
You are such a good read on people.
Yeah. So, you know, I could see there was a character flaw. There were some things that weren't quite feeling right to me. And, you know, in my experience from that was really learning to let go of the control. And
because I was not experiencing the same feelings or the same insights, you know, this person was my friend and I was really close with him, and I, you know, really felt like we had a future with our friendship. It wasn't like a surfacey anything. Like there were some deep shared values there, you know, and I was attached to that. And I was really attached to that. That's actually, I feel like, really coming through stronger now, actually. So this is interesting. So you had to let go of control of like the outcome, and you had to like fully let go and just let me go through my own experience with him. And then of course, in time, gave it a couple months, and I was able to see how this person was exhibiting behavior and characteristics that were totally not in alignment with me and with our relationship.
Right. And that was, yeah, like you said, I had to kind of like give up the wheel per se and like let you do the driving through that experience. I had to let go. And then that was also me letting go of like past instances with partners where I was like dismissed, the things that I was intuitively picking up on, would be quickly dismissed and diminished. And, like you weren't dismissing my feelings, you weren't diminishing them. And so that made it easier as well to like, okay, I'm going to lean into trusting her and letting her experience and letting the truth come to the light, because it always does in time. And it did. And that was like a really that was a really monumental phase of our relationship. Like that totally built our trust in each other even more.
Deepened it for sure.
It totally deepened it. And we were like in a space of like, okay, like I trust, you were leaning into more of like, okay, like I trust your intuition more. Yeah. I know this isn't coming from a place of like control.
Yeah.
Because you have experienced, I don't want to speak for you, but.
Totally. In that too, I had to let go of my past experiences with partners trying to control who I was friends with and who was in my life, who I could talk to, who I could spend my time with.
Right.
I feel like there were points where maybe you were expressing your feelings about this person, and out of like my past wounds would be quick to react like, oh no, and like defend and all of this because I just was so desperately not wanting to give up like my freedom or power of choice or anything like that. So I had to let go of that because I had to realize, look, she's not trying to control anything. You were saying your honest feelings, which turned out to be 100% like accurate, true, valid. I mean, your feelings are valid regardless, but there was like a lot of evidence to back up what you were feeling.
Yeah, like the intuitive feeling, and it was just, it just, I think solidified our relationship, our trust in each other so much more.
Yeah. So letting go of that person and then letting go of like so much, so many different dynamics, experiences, attachments to the past in that was so powerful because on the other side of that was like deepened trust and clearing out more space in my life for newly aligned people to come in and to be in my friend group.
Right. With like shared values and
that are respectful.
Right. Exactly.
Super powerful.
So what are some other things that you've had to let go of? Speaking, we're on the subject of friends.
Yeah. I mean, and we're talking about this because it's been so pertinent, particularly in my life. I mean, I've been letting go a lot. I mean, we're constantly letting go, right?
Right.
Well, maybe not all of us, but
yeah.
I feel like I've let go of like so much in the last year, so much. But after I let go of like my previous marriage, my business, my home, my cat, that was a lot. Those were like obviously huge things in my life. But shortly after that, it came to fruition that, oh wow, I have to let go of another friend, a very, very dear friend. And because we just were not aligned, I had let go of all that shit. Right. And like, of course that changes you. Like, and I wanted to keep evolving to like get better. Like I'm going to shift. I'm going to find my voice. I became much more authentic. I became much more expressive and direct in what I was feeling and seeing and experiencing. And maybe some of it was clumsy, 100%. Like I'll take accountability for that. And in this person's experience with me, she knew the old B who was like meek and quiet and, just like allowed other people to take her power. And, I really like needed a friend through so much of, this person has seen it all with me. I've been friends with her for 10 years now. So it just became very apparent to both of us, and she was going through her own process too.
Right.
I'm not discrediting that. Like, she was evolving and growing and changing in her own ways. And she had these realizations about the type of friend that I had been. And, there was so much on both sides. So we realized we can't be the friends that we need to be for each other right now, or that we can't be the friends that we need. Does that make sense? Like, I needed some sort of friend to be like, totally honest, totally transparent, show up as your full self. I need that. Authenticity.
You were craving authenticity in your friendships.
I needed it. I couldn't deal with covert, passive aggressive, or like even anything like that.
Right.
She needed me to like be super caretaker.
Coax things out.
Yeah. Like really just, and I have already been that way. And I'm like, no, girl, like I gotta take care of my own shit. Like it was too much on both ends.
Right.
So I let that go. And I honestly didn't see it at the time of letting it go. I just let it, it was so painful. Oh my God. Like so much grieving. It was like I was going through a breakup because I was.
It was. You can break up with friends.
You can break up with friends,
and
right?
It feels just as terrible.
Yeah. And I don't even know, now that I'm feeling that, like, I needed to like allow myself to like really fully grieve that and feel that, just as I would any sort of romantic relationship. But now on the other side of it, I felt a call to share things with this person, deep things that are happening in my life. And, now that we've taken some space, and now I'm realizing like, oh, when you let go, it's not necessarily a forever thing. It could be, but also that version of our friendship had to die, just like those old versions of B and the friend had to die. Like all of it had to die for something new to be born.
Right.
Like the phoenix.
Right.
I'm getting poetic again.
I love it. Keep going.
Dying, burning down in order to create something totally new from the fucking ashes. And here we are. And I feel like her and I are going to create something new. And it's never going to be like it was.
Right.
And a part of me is like really sad because I loved that some of those times in our lives.
Right.
But also like this is going to be so much healthier and so much more in alignment for the both of us. And it's going to look so different. I don't even know how it's going to look now.
Right. It's still, you're still in like birthing it essentially.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's gonna the baby's still in the womb.
Yeah. It's still taken, it's going to take time, but it's been really beautiful to witness that as well. I know how difficult of a time that was and how difficult it was to like essentially let that chapter go. And, you weren't sure, like it was really brave for both of you to let go of that and not really know if you were going to come back together in the future. And now I can see it like unfolding before me. And yeah, it's really beautiful that you're still open. Like you're not closing down, you're like opening back up, and it's much different. The dynamic is totally shifted.
I feel it energetically and emotionally. Yeah. So like yet again, another example of how amazing it can be on the other side of that letting go. Initially, it can be like just totally heart-wrenching, like I feel like I'm getting misty-eyed just like feeling and talking about it now because it can cut so deep. And we know that that's temporary. In the midst of it, it doesn't feel like it. I get it, but it is temporary, I promise you.
Right. And I think what else was really beautiful to witness too is, you both were able to bring up things. You both were able to reflect on things that you had said to each other. And you were like, you both had these really vulnerable moments with each other where you were like, hey, I totally can see where you're coming from. I am this. I was being this way towards you. I am sorry. Like taking accountability, like I think that was also monumental in shifting the friendship as well in this next chapter.
100%. Yeah, both of us like being just totally honest with ourselves and then communicating with each other like,
Mhm.
girl, I
Yeah.
was being like this. My
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah. But sometimes it takes, it has to die in order to be reborn even better
Yeah.
than before.
I don't know if it says this in the Bible. You can
Mhm.
probably correct me. I have not read the Bible, but I do think that there's a lot of powerful wisdom in there.
Mhm.
And something about Jesus saying, or maybe it wasn't Jesus, it was someone else, but
Mhm.
like dying every day, like a version of him is like dying every day.
Mhm.
And do you know what I'm
No idea.
cool? Someone out there might know, or maybe it's not from the Bible. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like a wise man once talked about a version of him dying every day
Mhm.
to be reborn again. And
Mhm.
that's really just stuck with me. And I feel like I want
Mhm.
that to happen in my life. I'm intending for that to
Right.
happen so
I
that we
love
can
that.
just be better and better and better. And there is no creation without destruction. Like
Mhm.
destruction is part of it, and it doesn't
Right.
have to be
Mhm.
terrible.
I love that. Yeah, I think, I it hasn't been it was kind of like pre-meeting you where I was in that shift of letting go of friendships. I let go of some while we've been together. But it's mostly been, in regards to it totally correlates to me walking in my more like authentic self and really like valuing authenticity. I was craving like more than a surface level friendship, and I wanted someone who would be honest and truthful with me. And I started, just reflecting on the people that I was spending my time with. And that's not to say they're bad people, or, I love them dearly, but they weren't on they aren't on the path that I'm at right now.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to continue like walking with them.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had to go through that process of like, it's okay. You can let these people go. You can cherish these memories that you have with them. You can cherish, the times that you had, but you have to let go of them in order to make room for new people to come in.
Yeah. And those new people could be actual new people, or it could
Mhm.
just be a new energy from an
Right.
old person, a familiar person.
Right.
Um, and I think what you just said, reminiscing on the good times, like
Mhm.
that's what I did with this really dear friend that I let go of. When I really started just like, the sadness, okay, I got through some of that. Of course, waves, healing is not linear, but when I was really reminiscing on like the good times with her and
Mhm.
reflecting on like how much we used to laugh and dance and
Yeah.
all the things that I love in life the most, that's when I started feeling that call to like, okay, like something new could be
Mhm.
birthed. Like it's not, I tend to be a very all or nothing person.
Right.
So this is showing me some gray too, which
Mhm.
I'm very grateful for.
Right. And I also had moments, this is just coming up. This is new. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but
Love it.
I had a friendship where this friend completely betrayed me.
Yeah.
Completely like betray my trust.
Yeah.
Everything that I thought I knew about this person was like not true. Um and it took me a little while to get past the betrayal, letting that friendship go. Um, but then I finally got to a place of like focusing on like, okay, what did this person like teach me? What was the lesson? And then I was able to take that, and then also I started shifting like these negative things about that had happened between us to what were like the really positive things. And like I would think of like really like funny things that had happened with us and just like more joyful moments. So I'm not carrying around that, you know
Heavy
that
energy.
that heaviness, that like, yeah, total just like that anger that I felt, and like really like processing it and letting it go. And being like, I'm grateful for that person now because
Yeah.
she opened my eyes to a lot of things. And yeah, I'm grateful that she was a part of this human experience. I send her love. There's no animosity towards her anymore. Like, I don't want to carry that around.
Well, because it's only hurting you.
Correct. Yeah.
And if you carry that around,
Mhm.
you know, truly, especially for long enough, that is not just a mental, emotional, energetic thing. That then becomes a physical thing, and that can result in disease and
Right.
illness.
Can totally manifest into physical ailments
Yeah.
in your own body. And I just didn't like, that's a lot of weight to carry around.
Yeah.
It's so much weight to carry around, and like it, like I said, totally like shifting my thought process, rerouting those like negative thoughts and like the things that she had done to me that were really hurtful, really painful, and just shifting it and being like, okay, yes, she did these things, not excusing the behavior. I let her go, but like she taught me this, she taught me that. We had some really great times together. We had some really fun times together, and like, this is where I leave you now.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. I'm moving on.
Yeah. Taking all that experience and lessons with you forward.
Right.
Love that. Love that. Love that. I feel like we can talk about letting go forever.
We could. Yeah, we have let go of quite a lot in the last 6 months.
Yeah, just alone.
Just alone in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
But I would say probably the last like 2 years of our lives, separately and together.
Yep.
We have let go of a lot of things.
Yes. Yes.
But now we're free birds.
It's been so freeing. It's been so liberating, and also fucking terrifying.
Oh, totally terrifying. Totally terrifying to let go of all of these programs and friendships and even just, you know, physical things.
Yes.
You know, it's scary.
As a Capricorn moon, the physical things have been really hard for me.
Yeah. And, you know, it's also like letting go of like that scarcity mindset too.
Every day.
That's been something that we've both struggled with at times. But getting into that scarcity mode is like, oh, if I let go of this, I'm never gonna have it again.
Right.
You know, you get
then
into
what's
that
gonna happen?
cycle.
Then I'll never find this again.
Yeah.
Then this will never, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You're like better at that than I am these days. I'm still such a work in progress with that, but holy shit.
Yeah. But alchemizing those thoughts and getting out of that scarcity mindset and being like, you know what? No, I'm going to stop you right there. I am abundant.
Yes.
What I let go of will return to me tenfold.
Yes.
Can manifest anything back into your life.
And if you want to like play with that, try it with like maybe something small.
Don't let go of your car.
Like we're going to do next week.
Yeah.
But start with like something small and then just see like how it may return back to you. And if it doesn't, like look at your attachment to that. What's that about?
It wasn't meant for you to keep holding on to.
Yeah. And maybe it comes back later in life. Maybe it doesn't at all. Can you be okay with that?
Right.
Or maybe you fucking forget about it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I've forgotten about so many physical things that I've donated.
It's like when you're like a kid and you're like cleaning your room and you like find stuff that you forgot about and you're like, oh
yeah,
I forgot about this.
Yes.
And then you're just sitting there in the middle of your room surrounded by like all this shit everywhere and you're just like playing with it.
That was me.
That was me, dude.
Because we're the kids that cleaned our rooms.
They're fun. Thanks, Mom. My mom made cleaning fun, dude.
Mine didn't.
Yeah. I'm a psychopath.
My mom didn't expect me to clean at all.
Yeah.
Love you, Mom. Yeah, I cleaned on my own.
Yeah. You're so cute. Okay. Well, we covered a lot.
We have. We've stirred up a lot of emotions. Perhaps we've triggered some things in you. So maybe let's do a little integration.
Would love that.
Okay. So get in a comfortable seat if you can. closing down the eyes, offering a soft gaze, whatever feels best for you. Focusing in on the breath, breathing in through the nose, and exhaling through the mouth. Just allowing yourself to be fully present right here and right now. Not thinking about the past, what you may have let go of. Not even thinking about the future and what's already on its way to you. Just being here with us in this sacred vortex, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And focusing in on these words, I am fully safe and all of my needs are met. I am safe and I have all of my needs met. I am safe and I have all of my needs met. Allowing those words to soak into every single cell of your being. Breathing in, breathing out. Really feeling what it feels like to feel safe. And if you don't know what it's like to feel safe, imagine what that would feel like. To have all of your needs met. Really bringing on those feelings. Just allowing them to come through. Knowing that these are the qualities of your soul. This is your natural state, who you truly are. And in this moment, maybe subtly remembering who you truly are. I am safe, and all of my needs are met. Giving yourself so much gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And allowing yourself to fully release and let go of what does not serve you for your highest and greatest good. When you're ready, gently coming back to your space, gently allowing your eyes to open, coming back to the here and now. Lovely. Why, thank you.
Again, guys, thank you so much for joining. We're so glad that you're here. If you're new here, we publish a let me restart that.
That's okay.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you guys for joining us. We are so glad you're here. If you're new, we have new episodes out every Thursday on Apple and Spotify, and we can be found on all platforms at Barebone Lovers. So please like, subscribe, review us. We would love to hear from you. We love to hear feedback. We love to connect and create community.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so we'll see you next week.
Bye, lovers.
Okay. Cool. That was another 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.